Hi, my name is Adam Brown. I'm Director of Social Media here at Dell, and I'm fortunate to be with David Kirkpatrick. David is author of The Facebook Effect, the inside story of the company that is connecting the world. David and I had an opportunity to speak to some of our Dell colleagues here about the book, as well as a conference that David and a few of his Fortune colleagues are hosting in August called
Techonomy.
Techonomy. Thank you, David.
Former Fortune colleagues.
Former.
Well, it's a very exciting thing. We started Brainstorm when I was still at Fortune, and now that myself and Brent Schlender and Peter Petrie have left Fortune, we're creating Techonomy to talk about this idea that technology innovation has to be at the core of all human activities, really, particularly leaders in business and government, have no choice anymore but to embrace technology in order to remain effective. So we're having this event, and we're going to be producing a lot of media afterwards. And at the event, we've got Bill Gates and Eric Schmidt and Larry Page and Stuart Brand and Mark Benioff and Bill Joy, John Doerr, etc.
It sounds like a fantastic event. And obviously, your network of people is pretty impressive. One, of course, being Mark Zuckerberg, an opportunity that you had to really sit down with him. Talk a little bit about 2 years ago when you decided to write this book, the decision tree that you went through.
Well, you know, I had realized that Facebook was important in 2006, and I had met Zuckerberg and become quite impressed with him. And as I followed it over the course, particularly over 2007, and it grew from 9 million when I first met with him in 06 to something in the vicinity of 45 million, 50 million by the end of 2007, I realized this was a unique growth story, a unique company led still by a 22, 23-year-old kid who was, I thought, surprisingly visionary. And because I had gotten a good relationship with him going and he respected my journalism, I was able to get an opportunity to write this book and tell the inside story of Facebook, which is what I did. So it's a history of the company as a way of explaining, number one, how weird that history is, but also all the things that have come out of the history, the effects in government, politics, business, marketing, etc., which are very substantial.
And certainly business is important to us here at Dell. Talk a little about some of the things that we as Dell associates can really glean from Facebook. We're certainly looking at Facebook as an opportunity for us to build better relationships with our customers, to sell our product, but really talk about some other takeaways that we should take from your work and from what you learned at Facebook.
Well, Dell's been very savvy about social media for a long time with IdeaStorm and some of the quite innovative things that you've done. But one of the things that I've come to conclude even more than I realized before, having spent 2 years focusing on Facebook, is that there is no marketing going forward that is not in some way social. So social marketing is going to become marketing, so you have a very good job. And honestly, I don't think that any company has the luxury of disregarding what's happening with Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn, especially when you're in a B2B business as Dell is. These are the central channels that are emerging in modern media.
David, if we were sitting here 16 months from now, 2 years from now, would we be having the same discussion about Facebook? Or is there going to be another provider? Is there going to be another platform that's going to rise to challenge Facebook? Our friends at Google, are they going to be in this social situation? Certainly social search, the idea that Facebook is as much a search engine as it is a social media platform is something that a lot of people are saying.
Well, Google's worried about that for sure. And Google's doing a lot to try to get into this space, and it could be through Android, which I know you at Dell are working on. You know, there may be some surprising means by which Google can get into the social media space, possibly through games. But I would say, in general, in a year and a half, Facebook will still overwhelmingly dominate social media globally. It will probably be well over 1 billion users at that point, unless it's had some disastrous slowdown in growth, which I don't anticipate. It will be even more global than it is today. It will be a major presence, even more than it is today, in the Middle East, in Latin America, in Eastern Europe, in Southeast Asia, etc., all areas where it's growing rapidly. I think one thing that will have happened in a year and a half is that Facebook will be more a tool on our mobile devices, including Streak and similar devices, where we take it with us everywhere we go, and essentially Facebook will become a means to socialize everything we do, because that's really what Facebook does. It gives us a place to create our identity and to establish our friend grid, our social graph as Facebook calls it, and then utilize that for whatever else we do. And I believe that there are innumerable opportunities to use our friend network to improve the experience we have when we're shopping, when we're traveling, when we're doing business, when we're walking down the street.
Fantastic. David, really appreciate you being here with us today. The book is Facebook Effect. Thanks for stopping by here at Dell.
Thank you, Adam. Great talking to you.